Someone said to me once, getting the job is the job. And then once you had like, and I was like, oh, like I never really understood that until I looked back. I'm like, oh yeah, like I did all this work to get the job. And then once you have that job, then you can then surround yourself with the right people to make it easier and make the project. But like, yeah, getting the job, like you got to prove yourself over and over and over again. No one's going to just say, hey, here's a movie, go direct it. Like you got to prove that you can do it. And yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work, and we're all very fortunate to be in this industry.
Today on the show, we are joined with director Michael Day around his brand new movie, Fog of War. What's so interesting about Fog of War is it takes place during World War II, but in a very unique way. It's a very contained story around the bigger picture of the war and leans into this intense people drama on the location of a property, lots of mystery, and kind of turns into a Guess Who game as you're watching throughout the film. And featured in this film, he's got a couple undeniable legends from John Cusack to Mira Sorvino, and even the stars of tomorrow as the leading role of Jake Abel alongside with Brianna Hildebrand. She did such a good job in this movie that I didn't realize she was the same actress who played Negasonic Teenage Warhead in the Deadpool series. And I just watched all of those to prepare for my interview with Karan Sani that we dropped the other week. Also, getting the behind-the-scenes scoop around this film, we learn a lot about Mike's story, the inspiring and untraditional road to the director's chair. He also leaves us off with some amazing words for any aspiring filmmakers. And yeah, I'm gonna shut up and let this interview do the talking. Hope you enjoy it. But
Yeah.
Mike, very nice to meet you today. Totally loved the film and everything. And what I thought was cool about it too is like I've seen a lot of like World War II movies, and they try to tell like the grand scheme of the story, but I love how you kind of have like this micro story going on a property, lots of drama and everything like that, lots of twists. And I kind of want to know what gravitated you towards this script to like wanting to bring it to life.
Yeah, I mean, it's for all those same reasons that you just said. I just love that it's a World War II movie that doesn't take place on the battlefield and it takes place on the home front and with family members, which is something, like I keep telling everyone, it's like very relevant today, unfortunately. And so I was really just drawn to just how small the film was actually. It's contained location, minimum cast and characters, and I just love just the cat and mouse of it all, of just these handful of characters and who it is, and with the twists and turns. And I remember when I first read it, I just couldn't. I'm just wondering, like, well, is it Jock? Is it who is it? Is it the Gaza? Is it yeah? Who is it? And then with the twist at the end, it was just a lot. It was a fun ride and just really exciting and just a different perspective of a World War II movie. So I was excited to jump in on that.
Yeah, and like what intrigued you actually like intrigued me as I'm watching the film as well. It is that very who's who, almost like a clue in a way, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, is this the guy? And even at the beginning, in my mind I thought I had it all figured out. And as we're going on, more twists are happening and happening. And I thought that was just such like a cool flow to it, and how you kind of like kept the tension building and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, we really found it in the edit, I'd say. We actually, it was, we rearranged a lot of the scenes and storylines and cut a lot of stuff out actually in the edit because it was like, we were like, we don't want to give away too much. That became a really delicate balance of, do we want to like give a little seed here, lead them this way, then give them another one? And the first cut was so obvious with different things and had too much. And then we started just to kind of dial it back and then just kind of rearrange a few things just to kind of, yeah, kind of keep people on the edge a little more. So it's exciting to hear that worked because now I've seen so much of it now. I'm like, I hope that worked with the twists and turns now.
Definitely, definitely. And even as I do mention, this is heavy like on the drama side of thing. I feel like when there is moments of action, it's almost like a little more impactful, like when it happens, because again, like in World War II movies, usually it opens up, everybody's just shooting and like people falling on the ground, but like these can have like in your movie, there's like a one-on-one confrontation, and you kind of like, I don't know, this builds and like edges you up to it and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I think one thing that kind of carried that as well. It was just how excellent the actors were. Like you have the legendary like
Yeah,
John Cusack in it. We have Mira, who I also call like Romy from Romy and Michelle, but just
I
like a
know.
bunch of like legends in this film. And I kind of want to know your experience working with them.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better experience. They were just such a delight to work with, and they cared so much about the characters in the film. And like like John, he's a night out. He'd call me late at night, and he'd have notes on scenes that he's not even in because he just was so like into the script and just really wanted to make it as good as possible. And so he always just had great insight, and I guess he's been doing it for so long, and so he just knows where you can like, hey, maybe we're giving away too much here. Let's like dial this back and maybe put a little more over here. And so I actually learned a lot from working with him on that. And it's one of those things where it's like after it was all said and done, it's like, oh, I wish I could go back and reshoot the stuff before I was working with him because like I just have a different perspective now, and he just brought so much to the table.
That's really cool. And yeah, you kind of touched on something I was going to ask you later on, but almost like there had to be like a bit of trickiness with the script of kind of giving people hints but not giving too much away as well. Like it seems like it's kind of like a delicate flow you have to go through the story, and like that's cool to hear that John had like some suggestions like, oh, maybe we're doing too much here or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, how did you like take the approach with like directing the actors in these kind of situations to kind of I don't know, take us along this ride.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of just I'm a big collaborator, so I always like to see what they bring to the table first because you never get that. I don't like to tell them what to do until like I like to see what their instincts are at first because as soon as you give them any sense of direction, it's just going to put them on a new path. But they've already done the research on their own, so I kind of let them bring to the table what they've researched and what they think works, and then I like to just kind of massage it from there because at the end of the day, I mean, they're such a big part of it. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. And so, but they always have the right instincts for the most part. And so I let them kind of bring to the table what they like, what they have, what they're thinking. And then from there, we're like, we just massage little things here and there. But like, for instance, Jake Abel, I mean, like he was so heavily involved in the script with the dialogue, the action stuff, and really has like a big handprint on, his character and what a lot of that's things, the dialogue in he was really adamant to make sure it all felt authentic and real, and I can't thank him enough because I mean he just really elevated that character so much with what he was bringing with the character, and same with all of them though, like Brianna, John, and Mira too, especially Mira. She's actually like brilliant in real life, and
Oh, cool.
she brought ad-libbed a lot of like the stuff with like about the Carl Jung and like all the books that she was reading and just like the history of it all. That's just stuff that she just knows from just her intelligence. And
Wow.
she was able to bring a lot to the characters with that. And it was just kind of fun just to put all four of them in a room and they all just kind of kept elevating each other in a way where it made my job easy, where I kind of just sat back like, yeah, that's great, guys. Let's roll.
Yeah,
So
just do you.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
super
Like
cool. And yeah, I can
no
imagine, yeah,
notes.
obviously as a director, that's got to be a blessing to just kind of be around like so many people who are so excellent at what they do where you don't even have to over direct. And it seems like you
Right.
been taking a lot in of this experience. Is there any other things you took from doing this movie that you're gonna bring into like your next projects?
Yeah, there's always so much I learn, and like so from like, there is a little bit of action, and that was, we did a little bit of planning and rehearsal with that. But to me, I'm always like, oh, I wish we could do more. It's like I always want to. Oh, sorry, my light just went out.
Oh, it's all
Um,
good.
but yeah, so like, I learned a lot on from Andrew DeCesare. He was the producer on it, and also helped. He's with the stunt coordinating, and so I relied heavily on him. And so I learned a lot more on how that works. And I know we were just kind of up against the gun in time, and so I know we couldn't do as much as he wanted, but I'm still really happy with how it turned out with like the little bit we got on that beach. And that's one thing I learned. I just learned a lot of just, planning that how we need to plan the fight sequences, even if it is only like, a 30-second little tumble or something. It's a lot on the actors. And when you're up against the clock and the sun going down, yeah, the preparation's key. And so we had a lot of preparation. So that made it easy on the day to go out. And I think I took that away as like, yeah, there's a lot of weekend work that you need to do and late nights after the shoot's done just to make sure you're prepared for the next scenes and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be crazy when you are kind of in the mix of everything and just with these time restrictions and even like a lot of it's like outside to weather, all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. And I can imagine while you're in it, like you're just kind of in work mode. But after it's all done, you finally put together this final edit, you watch it back. Is there any like specific like moments or scenes that you may feel like extra proud about or just like some of your favorites that happen throughout the film, like watching it without like in work mode or anything like that?
Yeah, I love there's a scene with John and Brianna in the garden, and they're talking, and he's talking to her about her fiance, and he's like, "Is he the right guy? You know, he's got this important decision." I don't know. That's one of my favorite scenes, and it was we were kind of forced to do it that way. We ran out of time. That was our last day with John Cusack, and we had two more scenes to shoot with him in two different locations. They're both interior, but we were just running out of time. So we quickly took those two scenes, took out the information we needed, and then we shot it. We decided to shoot it outside in the garden because that way we had the natural light and we could move a lot quicker. And
Cool.
so now when I watch that scene, I'm like, that's my favorite scene now. I don't know why, but like because it's just a mix mash of these other two scenes that well, ultimately we didn't need, and it all makes sense in this one scene instead. And it was just beautifully shot by Dean, the DP, in the garden. And so yeah, whenever I see that scene, I'm like, yeah, like that. I'm so happy that we ran out of time that day because I love this scene so much.
Yeah, yeah. What seems like might be like a bad thing ended up being a blessing. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Like how I don't know. Sometimes when you're making art or and like even beyond films, like music, I people I talk to and stuff. Sometimes they have like these moments, and then again, like it seems like it's a bad thing, and like later on, you're like, oh my God, this is like the best thing to happen. Kind of put some pressure on
right.
you to like throw an audible in a way and it's like it
Yeah,
works out, so that's cool to hear too. And even I kind of want to know a little bit more about your personal journey as a filmmaker. I clicked on your IMDb and just saw like that you were making a bit of shorts and now you're starting to get into like more features now, and I kind of want to know a bit about your journey of how this has been growing and how you got to the position of working with these legends and producing a movie like Fog of War.
yeah. Honestly, I still don't know how. Actually,
Yeah,
I'm still
that's the
trying to.
best.
I still question it. But yeah, like my background, right out of college, I went to school for film, and right out of
Mhm.
college, I was like, set PAing, office PAing, and I was interviewing for a job, and it led to me doing accounting. So I was like, well, stick into accounting. That'll make you a good producer. And so I did accounting for almost like 10 to 15 years before taking that experience and leveraging that into producing. And that's why I was like, okay, I started doing shorts with my friends and everything. And I was going to do this one short. And at the time, I had no desire to direct. And so I was trying to find a director and I couldn't find someone. So my buddy's like, oh, why don't you just direct it? You wrote it, you know it, you're producing it. We're doing this whole thing for $500 anyway. It's like, it's just a one night shoot. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And then I just like fell in love with it. And that was literally like 5 or 6 years ago. And so then it was like a drug. I'm like, I got to do more. So then I did more shorts, music videos, web series, and I just
Cool.
kept doing it. And then it kind of finally led to my first feature, which was Clawfoot, which came out like in 2023. And then that just kind of then rolled into this one. And now I'm in post on another one. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. And yeah, yeah, it's definitely not a traditional path from the accounting to producing to directing, I'd say, but I love it, and I'm so grateful for all the past experiences because it just makes me so much stronger on set. I feel like knowing where the money is and the timing of it all, and just I always know I'm up against the wall, so I'm able to quickly pivot, and I have a great team of people that can do that with me.
Yeah, that's so cool that you got that other perspective that maybe a lot of people like on the creative side they don't even see behind that curtain and like
Yeah,
it's and even I love your story of just it just seems like such a natural progression in a way where it's just like right place, right time. I'm gonna try this. Oh, it worked. We're gonna keep doing this. And I feel like I
yeah,
had a similar situation with these interviews in media. Like I'm a videographer myself, and about like
yeah,
15 years ago, I was doing one gig, and the person who was supposed to do the interviews didn't show up, and I ended up just having to do that, and I had fun with it, and then it snowballed into something
yeah.
else that I didn't imagine me doing, and now it's like almost my identity in my life in a way, and I can
Yeah.
see that happening to you with the direction and everything. So that's so cool, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, now I love it. And like I can't imagine doing anything else. And but it was just, like it's yeah, it's the right place, right time. And the road just kind of got me there. It's like that thing is like if I would have done this earlier or sooner, probably I probably would have failed epically, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I'm so great. The timing just was perfect. And I put all the time in on all those shorts and web series and made those as, you know, those if I look back at those like, wow, those are really bad. But I learned a lot and that made me prepared for the features.
Yeah, that's all part of the process too. And like, yeah, people are gonna watch this movie and they're gonna be like, "Hey, this guy's fucking good." Like, so like it's cool. And even going forward, do you have any other projects in the fire, or maybe like some dream projects you want to work on one day?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm in post right now on a rom-com, and it's always been a dream of mine to do rom-coms. Like I love like the Matthew McConaughey rom-coms from like the 2000s, and so we finished one. I'm in post on. It's very much like a Sweet Home Alabama type with a girl that's a fish out of water back home. So we're in post on that one, and then by my dream is I had this one that I'm dying to make. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's very contained. It's almost if you took 2001: A Space Odyssey and Ex Machina and they made a baby film, this would be it. And I love the script. And I mean, we're in talks. I mean, it's making progress. I think we might shoot it at the end of this year, is what they're saying. So I mean, we never I never trust it to actually on set, but that getting a chance to do that one next would be crazy because it's just such a high concept idea. And but it's also only three characters in a high tech bunker, so it's really exciting, and that's the dream to do that one next.
Oh, so cool. And even I'm a big Alex Garland fan too. So to hear
Oh my
like you
God,
got
yeah.
a bit of influence. And actually, I went to a screening the other day in for his new movie Warfare, and he showed up and did a Q&A and everything. So it
Oh
was kind
wow.
of cool to hear like the layers of how he works and everything. But yeah, it's cool to hear you're
Yeah.
influenced by him. He's one of my
He,
goats right now. So
yeah, I mean he's so talented. Yeah, he really is a goat. Like one of the best. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, like I can't say enough. It's cool to hear all these extra layers on your journey. And every once in a while, I get messages from people who are creators themselves listening to these segments. And I know you got a unique path yourself, but would you have any like maybe general advice for maybe an aspiring director who has these ideas and they want to bring them to life? Like maybe how they can take the first step towards that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I hear it all the time from people, and I remember hearing it myself, but now I'm in it. I'm like, oh yeah, that is the right advice. It's just keep making it. Like, and that's what I did. Like, I just find your friends that can go out on the weekends, and just keep making the shorts, making the web series, or whatever content that actually is going to get traction. Because once you like, that's what really to get the feature. That was the thing too. Like, my first feature had Francesca Eastwood and Milo Gibson in it. And so I was a first time director, but the first thing they want to know is like, what else have I done? Well, I haven't done any features. So like, okay, well, what shorts have you like? And so at least I'm glad I had a bunch of bad shorts I couldn't show them, but that led to some good shorts I did. And so at least I had some good shorts I could show them. And like that became like the proving card to them. Like, okay, yeah, well, that was a great short you did for like $500. Let's see what you can do for, with this feature. And so I'd say it really is, and you meet the right people, along the way at film festivals and things as well. Just yeah, like you might meet a DP who knows a good director that they connect you. It's really all about networking more than anything. And it's a really small community once you're inside. Everyone kind of knows everyone, or you're like one degree away from like, if I don't know that person, I probably know someone who does know that person because it's just a really small community. I keep finding out. And so I'd say just keep hustling, keep grinding, and let your work show how good you are more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. And I see like across the board in like all art forms, if you want to turn it into a profession, you really got to put those reps in. And recently I talked
Yeah.
to this one author, her name's Elizabeth Hand, and she won the awards like across like all genres. And one thing that kind of stuck out that she said to me was um, even like you gotta make the bad ones. I find a lot of new people
Yeah.
they get so stifled of like trying to be a perfectionist too early. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I write like shitty books all the time." And it's like you don't have to release it, and maybe that book can turn into a short story, maybe it can turn into a poem,
Exactly.
and even
Or there
like
might be a character in there that's good, that you pull
yeah,
out,
yeah. And I feel like a lot of people they might do something and maybe it doesn't turn out the way they wanted to and they'll see it as a failure. But basically what she said, she's like, there's no failures. You can like
Yeah.
pick up from that later, or again, it's just like you
Yeah.
put in those reps again too, or maybe you learn like not what to do type of thing. So
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the fact that you're making something, I mean, it doesn't matter how they like, if it bombs, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like the fact that you made it doesn't make you a failure. Like you not making it makes you a failure. You got to be willing to try it and put it out there. And that's all it's art. So it might resonate with someone, even if you don't think it will. And so it's going to be special to someone, even if it's just to yourself. And that's really all that matters.
yeah,
And,
definitely.
someone said to me once, and back to like, for young filmmakers, like, someone said to me once, getting the job is the job. And then once you had like, and I was like, oh, like I never really understood that until I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, like I did all this work to get the job. And then once you have that job, then you can then surround yourself with the right people to make it easier and make the project. But like, yeah, getting the job, like you got to prove yourself over and over and over again. No one's going to just say, hey, here's a movie, go direct it. Like you got to prove that you can do it. And yeah, so it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work, and we're all very fortunate to be in this industry.
Hell yeah. And yeah, Michael, I can't say enough. I love your energy too. And I'm excited
Oh,
to
thanks.
see like, yeah, your next projects and everything. But on the release of Fog of War, just as like a final question, how are you feeling being able to get this out to the people?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm so happy it's out. Like, I love how it turned out. I'm so proud of it. We shot this thing in 15 days, and so it's just I'm so proud of what everyone put into it and what we got out of it. I'm really happy with how it looks, and I just hope that everyone just walks away enjoying the film as much as we enjoyed making it.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll continue to share it during different releases, like beyond the theatrical stuff. If it's like goes to like straight to like different VODs or streaming services, we'll be sure to post some highlights of these interviews and also
Oh,
give people reminders and everything. But yeah, it was
thank you.
great. It was great to talk to you today, and hopefully we can chat again around your next one.
Yeah, sounds good. I love that. Thank you.
Big thanks once again to Mike Day. Like we mentioned, Fog of War had a bit of a theatrical release. We're going to put some links in the description where you can check it out if you haven't already. Definitely recommend. It's super cool. And it's always fun to do these segments and get these extra layers behind these films. And if you like this one and this is your first time checking out the show, give us a follow. If you're on the Spotify's, the Apple Musics, all the podcast apps, or a subscribe if you're over on the YouTube. We got a lot more around the corner, and even a little support like that helps us get more behind the scenes. They're kind of looking at the analytics. And yeah, even the littlest support goes a long way. And speaking of people who support me, people who give me more than a little support, we can't run away without thanking all you legends on the Patreon page. And first up, the biggest thanks to the Queen, Ola Mazuka of Sonic Fold. Go search Sonic Fold on your Instagram. Give that a follow. Ola does some soulful, heartfelt interviews as well. She's also an incredible DJ and a wonderful community builder. So check out Sonic Fold for some on-point vibes. And another big thanks to the lovely Amanda McKnight of the Vamp X13 YouTube channel and the Vamp X13 Twitch channel. If you're into comic books, video games, movies, and all things nerdy, check out Vamp X13. Another thanks to the wonderful Jenny Potter, the legend Devin McBride, the #1 Jen Allen Kent, and last but not least, Francis Coffer, aka my mom. If you want to shout out at the end of every one of these episodes and also get them early, raw, uncut, right when I'm done the Zoom call, I just post them. You can go to patreon.com/the creative imbalance, and beyond having my forever thanks, you can just go to bed at night and sleep soundly, knowing you're a badass motherfucker who supports raw, uncut, independent media. And nobody can take that away from you. And with that being said, we got a lot more around the corner. Thanks for hanging with us, and we'll catch you next time. Mwah.